Hey guys, my name is Dave, and today we will be talking about LeBron James and his free agency decisions. It's coming up very, very soon. Actually, the deadline for him to opt out of his current contract officially is 11:59 tonight. I believe he already did it, but he may not have officially done it yet. He might have just said he was going to, but hasn't officially done it. But he's almost assuredly gone this offseason. The Cavaliers did not play even close to the level that they needed to play to even win 2 games in the finals. They couldn't even win one. If not for a fluky JR blunder at the end of game 1, though, they could have probably won game 1. But can't live in the world of ifs, ands, and buts. Therefore, since they got swept, he's gone. Not gonna be there. Very, very unlikely. I'd give it maybe a 20% chance of him returning to Cleveland. If that. One interesting report I heard today. It sounds like something Dan Gilbert would say, but I'm not 100% sure because it was confirmed by Stephen A. supposedly and his insider sources, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything, you know. Sometimes they have certain, information leaked and it ends up being wrong. But supposedly Dan Gilbert said that he would love for LeBron to leave, or that he doesn't really care if he leaves because he'd have his team back. Which, if that's true, that's just the most ludicrous thing to ever say, because if it wasn't for LeBron, you would not have won 2 titles. Or 1 title, I meant to say. And he was, and always has represented, since you've been there, the best chance to win a championship. So for you to say that is just really ridiculous. I don't know where his head is at. He really just has a massive ego that he thinks that he's the main component to the Cavaliers' success is just ridiculous. Absolutely insane ramblings of a madman. That's all I could fucking say. I don't know where his head's at, honestly. But there's only a few teams that I think LeBron would actually consider going to. And I've took the liberty of creating a list. And it was also a few days ago. So the choices may have been narrowed down even more than they already were from this list of options. But in the coming days, just for sake of pure interest and speculation in the situation, I'm going to be making a video for every single option on this list. Even the ones that I think are somewhat outside of the realm of possibility, but still close enough to where there's an outside chance that it could happen, instead of making a video on a team that he's definitely not going to. So the list I compiled in no particular order whatsoever, by the way, is the 76ers, the Rockets, the Lakers, the Cavs, the Celtics, the Heat, the Pelicans. Um, basically, I didn't pick the Spurs because of Kawhi wanting out, and there had been minor speculation that LeBron would maybe try to go there, but if it's almost guaranteed that Kawhi is leaving, there's no sense in going there if it's just going to be him. Because the way I see it, if he did that, it would be him and LaMarcus Aldridge as his second option with an okay core. Don't get me wrong, like decent players for the most part, but nothing really like super crazy that really jumps out at you, you know? So I don't see him going there. Reason I picked the 76ers as one of them is they have a lot of cap space mostly, and like a lot of people have been saying, they have Ben Simmons, although he does need to work on his jump shot definitely in the offseason. And they also have Joel Embiid, and even though I really don't like Joel Embiid because I find him extremely cocky, and to be quite honest, I just find him obnoxious. That's it. Like, him and Whiteside going at it, like, he just always seemed obnoxious to me. Like, Whiteside gets on my nerves, too, as a Heat fan, don't get me wrong. But Joel Embiid is just even more annoying. He just is. I don't know what it is, you know, he just rubs me the wrong way. The reason I picked the Rockets was, although they don't have a lot of cap space at all, Daryl Morey is possibly the best GM in all of basketball, and he's pulled off some ridiculous signings and trades before. I mean, nobody, you know, just a year ago, last offseason, nobody thought that Chris Paul was going to be on the Rockets, and somehow he made it so that Chris Paul would be on the Rockets and James Harden. And unfortunately, it did not work out for them with Chris Paul going out with the injury in Game 7. Or before Game 7, at the end of Game 6, you know, going out for the rest of the game, and then not returning for Game 7. That was a key factor in the Warriors winning that series. And, you know, if you slot in LeBron at small forward, you know, they probably would have had an even better chance of winning that series. Can't go back in the past to that series and say that definitively, though, because you don't know. Anything can happen, especially in the NBA. Someone could have went down with an injury on top of that. The third option is the Lakers, being that they have the most cap space of any team right now. They have enough cap room if they do things the right way to be able to sign 2 max players, which would mean that if the Lakers can manage it where they get Kawhi on the Lakers, LeBron would most likely go to the Lakers because that's a really, really good pairing, him and Kawhi. Because Kawhi is an excellent defender, so LeBron would not have to guard the best man on offense, making it a lot easier for him because if he doesn't have to play defense nearly as much, he can just save his energy even more than he's already been doing and basically just use all that energy that he would be using on defense to use it exclusively on the offensive side and just run the offense through him and put up some really, really big numbers, basically. And even if they can't get Kawhi, they could still probably get Paul George. And even though I'd say Kawhi is a lot better than Paul George is still a very good player, don't get me wrong. I still think it would be a pretty good pairing with them two. Although I gotta say, if he goes to the Lakers, there was another report I read that LeBron would want Lonzo Ball out of LA, and there was also a report today that he just had a torn meniscus. That might be kind of hard now because you can't really trade him if he's injured. Like, nobody's gonna take him. So it'd be interesting to see if LeBron does go to LA, how they are going to handle that. Maybe once he gets healthy and his trade value goes back up a bit more, they might try to trade him for a decent piece to any team that's willing to go after him. Next team is the Celtics. I don't think this would be a great fit, but it was floated out there, so I did want to at least talk about it. For the Celtics, he would have his running mate back in Kyrie Irving. The question is, there were also reports that the Celtics might be trying to trade Kyrie Irving for Kawhi to go to the Celtics. So, if they don't pull off the trade, would Kyrie Irving try to get out of Boston because he doesn't want to play with LeBron again? That would be very interesting to see if that ended up happening. You know, how would the rest of the offseason transpire? Would he request a trade or demand a trade? Would they even accept it? You know, or if the Celtics got Kawhi and then LeBron decided, hey, I'm going to go to the Celtics, you know, how would that shake out? That would be interesting to see as well. And the Celtics are definitely a really solid team, so either one of those two guys on the Celtics with LeBron, if they can fit it in the cap room, I don't know how much they have currently, that would be really interesting for that team to potentially go up against the Warriors. The next team is the Heat, and the only reason I'm picking the Heat, they don't have a lot of tradable assets that any team would really want that much. Unless the Heat trade Whiteside and like one or two other guys to get the cap room to sign LeBron and gut a good portion of the roster, they're not going to be able to sign him. Unless he takes a discount, which I don't think he would be opting to do because the Heat are not a good enough team yet at this juncture to entice LeBron. Worst case scenario, I think he'd be looking at a 3 seed to want to be going to be able to sign with or get traded to. I do not think he would go to the Heat. They had a very disappointing season last year, playing against the 76ers and then not doing so well against them. And the last team, I don't know their cap situation either, just for a disclaimer. I think the Pelicans would be an excellent, just without even looking at the cap, just like roster-wise. That would be really an interesting fit. With Anthony Davis and LeBron James, that would be a monster pairing. Like, the pick and roll with LeBron point forward to Anthony Davis, that's just, oh my God. That would be very, very scary, and that would definitely spook the Warriors at least a little bit. So those are his potential options that I have on the list. If you think that I may have missed one, and you would like to state your reasoning as to why, do so in the comment section below of this video, and I will see you in the next video, and hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.